Hello everybody, and welcome back to the range. Tom here, and it's that time of the month again. It is the December giveaway, and Jim Silva, y'all know Jim, he's the one that always uses the JB well, but this is the giveaway for the month, and I hope y'all like it. So let's head on down to the range. Let's get started. This Volkswagen casting, I liked it, and I got it just for the wheels alone to use for other projects. So I got two castings. One I stole the wheels from, and this one I decided to try a little bit of something different. For my giveaway build, I decided to go with a Gaslands / Mad Max theme, because it's the first time I've ever done that as a giveaway. So, I thought I'd kind of press my limits a little bit here and just see what all I wanted to do to it. And most of the time that I was building this, everything just kind of came to me when I was putting it together in some areas. Like, at first I didn't know what I was going to add to it or how I was going to add to it or anything like that. And I just knew I wanted to do something Gasland with it. It was the perfect idea for it. And most people, see the Volkswagens as, Gasland vehicles. I've seen a lot of Gasland builds with the Volkswagen kind, and this was a race car. It's the newer models, the newer castings, I guess 2021, I'm not for sure. But what I'm doing here is, it came with a plastic engine, so I'm just cutting out an area where I was wanting to put a bigger engine, sticking out the back. And at first I was going to try to put an engine in the front, but I was like, nah, I'll just keep it with the whole Volkswagen theme and the engine in the back area of it. And I cut out as much as I could, but I ended up using the piece that I cut out for the build, and I just kind of put it somewhere else, and it looked like a shield kind of deal going on. And I had to file a lot on this one because I wanted it to fit right, and I wanted it to look decent while doing it, but I didn't want it too clean, so I didn't really want to make it look like it was like perfectly shaped. So it's kind of a little off. I made sure I kind of did the sides really good, because the engine, I don't remember where I got the engine from, but it was just one I had laying around. It was an all metal engine, and so I just decided, what, I'm going to use it for something, and this was the perfect build to use it for, because it was already metal, so I didn't have to worry about painting it chrome or anything like that and going from there. And I had a blast doing this build. I couldn't even wait to put it all together. I was so excited about this build. I couldn't wait till the whole thing was together, because seeing the bits and pieces, I was like, man, I'm getting excited. I want to see this thing put together. And I hope you guys do pretty much act the same way, because this was one of my favorite builds. Too bad I'm making it a giveaway, but you know what, I know Jim will give it a good home, and I hope he enjoys what I did. It wasn't that difficult of a build. I didn't really have to do a lot of modifications to the body. I had to make the spot for the engine bigger, and kind of had to wall out the wheel wells so the tires I was using would fit. And you see that the engine I'm using, it fits perfect right where I was hoping it would be, and it already started looking mean before I even started painting on it. And what I'm doing here is I'm taking a piece of round styrene, and I'm going to be putting exhaust. I cut off the original exhaust and kind of shortened them down, because I was wanting to put a different exhaust on it and make it look like they were longer. And it didn't originally work out like I was gonna have it glued to the interior part of the exhaust, but there'd been no way for me to take it apart and everything else, so I ended up not gluing it in place, and gluing it onto the body itself, you know, to give it that look. And you know, if Jim decides to take it apart or whatever, you know, that's up to him. You know, I put the 256 screws in it, so he can do that if he wants. And I honestly, I just thought it came apart perfectly, just kind of making it to where it had that separation spot, to where, you know, if he decided to take it apart, add something to it or whatever, you know, that's on him. It's gonna be his. He can do whatever he wants with it, and I won't have no issues with it. And the way about it, you know, after I got done with both of the side exhausts, I ended up cutting a piece of tube styrene, you know, a bigger piece, you know, that I just slid onto the edge of the round stock. I call it round stock, sorry y'all. I'm thinking forging for firing, or you know what I mean. But you see the tip pieces, you know, I didn't really do anything special with them. I didn't cut them in an angle or anything. I just kind of left them that they were kind of, it made it look like they were just kind of put on there. And you know, I like how, you know, it's kind of ones, it's kind of, they're not straight, but they weren't never originally supposed to be straight. And what I'm gonna be doing here in a little bit in the video is I'm testing out some new ideas with some, you know, wire that I have. And you know, it's just something I've been wanting to try to do, but I didn't really have any ideas of what I was going to do. I didn't show any of it, me doing the wire twist, but you'll see me messing with it here in a little bit. But my next video, I'm going to be building a vehicle for a diorama I'm going to be working on, and I'm probably going to show footage of that, or just take pictures of it throughout my builds, or I might just do a video on it. It's going to be a pretty good sized diorama, and it's going to be just for like display purposes. I don't know exactly what all I'm going to do to it yet, but the vehicle I'm going to be making is just going to be just for that diorama. So I'm going to use my the wire twist technique thing for it. And you know, what I did here is, instead of having the steering wheel on the left side, I actually covered that part up with an armor piece that I got, and put the steering wheel on the passenger side, on the right side. You know, I just figured it'd be a little bit different, you know. And the steering wheel that I was originally going to put on it, I lost, so I ended up finding one off of a Volkswagen bus that I had, that I ended up putting on here. And I just thought it was just something different, you know, and figured being a Volkswagen, having it on the right side wouldn't be a problem. You know, I really like this casting. I like the shape of it. I like the style. Not a typical Volkswagen bug like you would see. But what I'm going to be doing later on is I'm going to probably every now and then I'm going to do a movie car build. And what I mean by that is, like, I got 3 cars that I've already done off of movie cars. I got my Camaro from the Bumblebee movie, or the Transformers movie. I got the 55 Chevy from the American Graffiti, the one Harrison Ford drove. And then I got my Mad Max Interceptor that I did. So I'm going to end up doing a Herbie build later on in the future. I already got the decals for it and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to start every now and then. I'm going to try to find a car from a movie or something and just go off of that and build a movie car out of it. And like I said earlier on the movie, or in the video, sorry, I got stuck in the movie deal. But early in the video, I said I had to wallow out my wheel wells, you know, so the front tires would fit. And, you know, they roll, but they don't roll, if that makes any sense. They roll a little bit, but they're not on these Gasland Mad Max builds. They're not really meant to roll, I guess. They're just meant for looks, or that Gaslands game, which I've never played. I've seen video footage of it, and it really doesn't really seem that interesting to me. I don't mind building people cars for it if they want to do it. And, that's something I have no problems with. Somebody wants me to build them a Gaslands car for the game, just tell me what you're looking for, and, I'll be more than happy to throw it together. I can just give me some ideas of what you want. Leave the comments leave a comment below, and, just keep me posted on it. I really want to see what people would say. I got plenty of, like, Mad Max style guns and, armor plates, and, just different random Gasland Mad Max builds. I got front bumpers with spikes and skulls, all kinds of stuff. And that's kind of where I was going with this. I didn't really use a lot of armor pieces, because with it being a Volkswagen, I kind of wanted to make it like a chase vehicle. So I didn't want a lot of armor on it. But you see what I'm doing here with the wire twist, and I'm trying to make it look like rebar. Whether I accomplished it or not, it doesn't matter. Just something a little bit different. I plan on eventually doing something with some chains or something. I don't know yet. I'm still kind of working out certain areas of what I want to do and how I'm going to do certain things. And this really wasn't that difficult, because the wire I used was really thin, and it was very flexible and maneuverable, and it looks like I tried to get it what I would see about size wise, because I didn't want to completely cover the entire car in it, but I wanted to make it look like it was kind of attached to the car in some areas. Like the front X here, and the side pieces are attached to the lower front fender, and I got the backs pretty much attached. Almost, you can't really tell, but it's near the exhaust. And I'm trying to make it look like everything's attached and it's on the car, and it's just sitting there. And it's kind of, I guess, going to be used for, like, I guess ramming. It's just protecting the car. And that's why the pieces on the sides stick out, because it'll just protect the door and stuff like that. When they hit it, they'll hit that and mess up the car, whatever. I'm just throwing out imagination ideas. And ended up making I don't know what it's called, but a rack for the back with, the same thing, I guess kind of like a support system for the back end of the wire. And I went ahead and I made a flag mounting area on there, so I could put flags on there if I decided to go with that idea. And I ended up making 4 flags. You'll see 3 of them in the final results video, and there's another one that I'm going to be putting with the package when I send it out. And it's going to be kind of a surprise. So you'll have to wait and find out and see what happens. I didn't really show how I did my painting and stuff, because everybody really knows. You've seen one, how they do the rust effect, how they do the chip paint effect. I didn't really think it was necessary, but the way I did it, after I salted it, I sprayed over with an orange color. It was almost like a rustic orange. And then, like, I don't know, but the paint was not all the way dry, but it was dry enough. So I salted it again, and I painted a black, like a dark gray black. And what I did was I let it dry for a little bit, not fully dried, and I just took a paintbrush and just started dusting off the salt. and the black started smearing, which wasn't a bad thing. It actually made it look really good. I was actually really happy. I didn't have to do a lot of weathering on it or nothing like that. And here's what it looked like. This is even after clear coat. And there's that little shield in the front with the skull on it. The part of the back of the car I took. You know, I got my Gatling gun, got a tow missile on the front. And this was all before I started doing the weathering. I can't even hold it. You know, that was after I did the weathering. I started weathering the interior. You know, I painted it like a brown color and put a little bit of sand and a little bit of rust on the engine, a little bit of soot, made it look like it's burning, you know, that kind of deal. And you know, I like doing the weathering things, and I don't do a lot of Gasland builds. I do a lot of barn finds or, you know, work in progress builds. But every now and then I'll throw up a Gaslands build. I think I got like maybe 3 or 4, I guess, videos of some Gaslands builds. I got my motorcycle, I got a kit car that I've turned into a Gaslands, this one, and I don't remember the other one. But you know, Gaslands are fun cars to build. You know, there's no right or wrong way to build them. You remember what we started off with. The Kafer Racer Volkswagen Buck. Good casting, nice wheels. Love the whole style of it. Gives it that pretty, you know, retro kind of look. Jim, I really hope you like this build, brother, because I did too. And without further ado, here's the final result. And I'll see you next time at the range.